up ahead of us, guys, on the right is a higher up sign pointing to the left. Beneath that's a little black and white sign. If you can spot that as we make our way around. This is another difference between our communities here. You'll only get these type of signs, both languages. Just don't want it to rain. Let's hope it doesn't rain today. Anybody listen to the weather forecast?
Yeah, it's Saturday.
I never listen to it at all because it's usually only right for one part of the country. I've seen me leave Belfast, beautiful sunshine, hit the main coastal route, poured down with rain all day, go back into Belfast, still beautiful sunshine. I'm not a big believer in the weather forecast because it doesn't cover the whole of the country. This little bend is why we call this the corkscrew. As I say, not designed for vehicles this size.
Wow, it's beautiful.
And just coming on the Glen Shesk. Now guys, you can see a pink purpley coloured plant all over the landscape here. This is heather. Nothing strange in that. What is strange, it only came into colour about 4 weeks ago. Heather up here usually comes into colour around May time, so it's very, very late in coming into colour. Now when we do come down the far side of Glen Shesk, we come to a location called Logarima. Logarima is a vanishing lake. For years, scientists have come to this area, trying to work out what's going on. They've eventually figured it out. They've given it a name. It's called an aquifer. Now apparently there are only 3 of these in the world. So what actually happens? Well, you've got a limestone basin with a stream running through it and a sinkhole. Beneath the sinkhole, limestone caverns. When the sinkhole gets plugged by debris, leaves, branches, etc., the water backs up and forms a lake. And eventually, due to water pressure, it will push the debris through the sinkhole and the lake will disappear again. I was up here yesterday. The lake's snow up here. Snow doesn't usually lie at this part of the route. It certainly did this year. We were driving up through here with 3 feet of snow. As I say, it is the highest level I've ever seen the lake sit at. The vanishing lake. And up ahead of us is Ballypatrick Forest Park. This is a man-made forest. But the prefix word Bally, you get to hear it across or get to see it across the whole of Ireland, not just here in Towards. Bally means town of or place of. The likes of Ballycastle, the town of the castle. We've just left Cushendun and Cushendall. These mean the foot of the River Dall or the foot of the River Dun. Carrick's another prominent word here. Carrickfergus, where we stop first thing, Carrick-a-Reed rope bridge. We're going to pass by. Carrick means rock. Carrickfergus, the rock of Fergus. Fergus was an ancient king here who had leprosy. He travelled to Carrickfergus to try and touch a healing stone to try and get rid of his leprosy. Well, he got rid of his leprosy okay, but not the way he wanted. The ship he was sailing in ran to point out Rathlin Island. Now up ahead of us, slightly to the right, the piece of land that you can see is slightly brighter than what it is here. That's Rathlin Island. Looks as if it's part of our own land here, but it's not. It's this island that lies off the coast. Now it's a bird reserve, mainly puffins, but you've also got 150 people live on the island. Strange little place. If you ever got a chance to get across there, you would see children as young as 11 or 12 years old driving the cars. Needless to say, all the cars on the island are all beat up and all smashed up. They do keep their good cars at the town of Ballycastle, where we're heading. The reason children can drive cars over there's no police on the island, so they can do what they want. Now, Rathlin Island is the only place I'm aware of that was totally COVID-free. Not a single case of COVID over on Rathlin Island. Simply because there's a little ferry service runs from Ballycastle to the island. They stopped the ferry running, sealing it off. No COVID on the island. And the island is associated with the former King of Scotland, Robert the Bruce. After the Battle of Perth, which he lost, he went into hiding in a cave in Rathlin. It was here that he noticed the spider spinning a web across the mouth of the cave. The spider kept getting knocked down by the wind, kept getting back up and starting over. This is said to have coined the phrase, "If you don't succeed, try again." Robert the Bruce went back to Scotland and won the Battle of Bannockburn. The island is also associated with the Virgin Media tycoon Sir Richard Branson. 1987, he was doing a transatlantic balloon journey and he crashed just off the shores of Rathlin Island. Locals there rescued him. In return, he granted them a sum of money to help build a new community centre. What did the locals build? Another pub. Best community centre you're going to get, I suppose, the pub. But very recognisable in Game of Thrones as a backdrop. They do use Rathlin Island quite a lot. For example, when Ironborn ships sail off into the distance, Rathlin Island you see to the side of them. It's also exactly what you see when you're looking across from the rope bridge. At the rope bridge, you look across, you'll see Rathlin Island. To the right of it, sitting in behind, the Mulligan Tyre. To the left of it, Islay, and quite possibly Jura, depending on the visibility. These lie off the Scottish coastline. We should see these hopefully when we're making our way now to lunch. And Stones, Bonamargie Friary, where Solly Boy McDonnell is buried. It so happens to be in the centre of Ballycastle's golf course. Can't fit two buses through there. As you can see, just an illusion. If you look out to the right just now, folks, you can actually see Islay and Jura lie off the Scottish coastline. The visibility is very good today. And there's a smaller little island just coming up here on the right. It's called Sheep Island. It's called Sheep Island because back when Vikings were raiding here, locals would have put their sheep across on the island. Swimming at the restaurant if you all want to get off the vehicle. Those people eating in the restaurant, if you just wait round the bus. Those people who are eating their own sandwiches, you want to head on round. This one's all Game of Thrones related, season 1 through to season 8. I've actually got like wicker sculptures of the dragons in the Ulster Museum, so well worth a visit. Free entrance. The only day it doesn't open is a Monday. That little beach you just spotted, White Park Bay. Our beaches are classified as blue flag beaches. They get the blue flag for cleanliness. The reason our beaches are so clean, the water's too cold and nobody visits them. The sea temperature here only changes by 1 degree between winter and summer. That is cold all year round. I used to jump in there as a child. I certainly wouldn't be doing it now. Anyway, folks, all about the causeway, the do's and don'ts of the place. Tunnel. The tunnel is the start of the walkway down to the stones. Just before the tunnel, into the side of the visitor centre, public bathrooms you can use. You've also got a pub on the site called the Nook. You can use their bathrooms, but it really depends on what member of staff is on. Some of them will tell you you can't use the bathrooms unless you buy something. My answer to that would be, I'll have a packet of crisps, please. It's a lot cheaper than paying £13.50 into the visitor centre. That's up to yourselves. The recommended bathrooms. What I recommend to you. There is a hotel on the site called the Causeway Hotel. Down the right-hand side of this is a sign telling you it's the Causeway Hotel. Favourite location for people being left behind. And I'll tell you what happens. They try to get as much out of this site as possible. Rightly so, it is the main attraction here. But what you find, they'll wait till the very last moment to try and get a bus back up the hill and you off. Make sure you've got everything you're going to need for this site. It's not a simple case of running back to the bus to get something if you forgot it. I won't be there. I'll be down in the town. So make sure you've got everything you're going to need for this site. And the most important thing, and this might seem strange, the most important thing to keep in your mind at all times of this site, always remember, this is basalt rock. This is not ordinary rock. Basalt rock, when wet, becomes very, very slippy.